Imagine this. You're behind the wheel of your brand new Chevrolet Suburban, a vehicle you chose for its size, safety features, and reputation. Your precious cargo, your kids, are buckled in, safe and sound in the back. A sense of security washes over you as you embark on what you expect to be a routine and peaceful family car ride. Until, without warning, the brakes suddenly fail, leaving you hurtling forward with no way to stop. For Tiffany Mallet, a devoted mother of 5, this wasn't a hypothetical scenario from a safety manual. This very nightmare became a terrifying reality, unfolding before her eyes in a heart-stopping instant. It happened just 3 weeks after she had proudly driven her brand new SUV off the dealership lot, filled with confidence in her purchase. In a moment of sheer panic, she desperately pressed the brake pedal. Nothing happened. The pedal offered no resistance, sinking straight to the floor with a sickening thud. Utter panic set in, a cold wave washing over her as the gravity of the situation became terrifyingly clear. Her children's lives, their safety and well-being, depended entirely on her ability to react swiftly and decisively in the face of unimaginable danger. The Dashcam, an impartial observer, captured her raw terror, the sheer, unadulterated fear etched across her face. It was a moment of complete helplessness as she realized, with growing horror, that she had absolutely no control over the vehicle's trajectory. This wasn't a scene from an action movie, a fictional scenario designed to thrill and entertain. It was an ordinary, everyday drive that had suddenly and violently transformed into a desperate fight for survival. The implicit trust she had placed in the car dealership, the assumption of safety and reliability, and the reputation of the Chevrolet brand, vanished instantly, replaced by a chilling sense of betrayal. In that critical moment, Tiffany's quick thinking, her ability to remain calm under immense pressure, was the only thing that stood between her beloved family and a potentially catastrophic disaster. Her harrowing story forces us to confront a fundamental question about vehicle safety and reliability. When you make the significant investment of buying a new car, entrusting your safety and the safety of your loved ones to a machine, are you truly getting the peace of mind, the assurance of safety, that you've rightfully paid for, or are you unknowingly gambling with your lives? With the brakes completely gone, leaving her with no way to slow down, Tiffany's instincts took over. Years of driving experience and a mother's protective reflexes kicked in, guiding her actions in this terrifying moment. She knew she had to act fast. Every second felt like an eternity. Thinking quickly, she yanked the emergency brake with all her might. It was a desperate move, a last-ditch effort to regain control of the speeding SUV and prevent a potentially catastrophic accident. The lever strained under the force, a mechanical lifeline in this crisis. The Suburban, fighting against its own momentum, screeched violently, tires desperately clawing at the asphalt as it careened towards a rough stop on the roadside. The sound was deafening, a symphony of metal and rubber protesting against the sudden deceleration. Finally, at a standstill, her body was shaking uncontrollably, a physical manifestation of the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The near-death experience had triggered a primal response, leaving her trembling and breathless. Her children, witnessing the harrowing ordeal from the back seat, were understandably terrified, their faces etched with fear and confusion. They didn't fully grasp the danger they had been in, but they sensed the gravity of the situation. Despite the chaos and fear, they were ultimately safe, unharmed physically, a testament to their mother's quick thinking and the last resort effectiveness of the emergency brake. Stranded on the side of the road and deeply shaken by what had just transpired, she desperately scanned her surroundings and thankfully spotted a police officer in the distance. She didn't hesitate, quickly flagging him down, hoping for assistance and answers. She began to explain the terrifying brake failure to the officer, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and disbelief as she recounted the harrowing experience. The officer, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, listened intently, taking detailed notes as Tiffany described the events that had unfolded. He immediately focused on ensuring her family's safety, checking on the children and offering reassurance. After a quick inspection, the officer confirmed that this was indeed a major defect, a potentially life-threatening flaw in the vehicle's braking system. Relief washed over her knowing her family was safe, but it was quickly overshadowed by a rising tide of anger. How could this catastrophic failure happen with a brand new car, a vehicle that was supposed to be reliable and safe? Tiffany, like so many others, had placed her trust in the vehicle's systems, believing that modern technology would ensure their safety on the road. But in this critical moment, the system had failed her, jeopardizing the lives of her and her children. Her quick thinking and decisive action, resorting to the emergency brake, had ultimately saved lives, preventing what could have been a devastating tragedy. But the emotional scar of this near-death experience would undoubtedly remain, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the potential for unexpected danger. The immediate danger had passed, but the real questions, the search for accountability and answers, were only just beginning. The investigation into the accident surrounding Tiffany's newly purchased SUV revealed a disturbing truth, a secret the dealership desperately tried to keep hidden. It was a revelation that sent shockwaves through the community and raised serious questions about the dealership's ethical standards. The brake problem, the very issue that led to the near-fatal crash, was not only known but documented before Tiffany even signed the papers to buy the car. The dealership was fully aware of the potential danger lurking within the vehicle. A diligent technician following protocol had flagged the Suburban's aftermarket brakes as unsafe during a routine inspection. The report clearly stated the compromised condition of the braking system. The technician's report went further, recommending immediate replacement of the faulty brake components to ensure the vehicle's safety and prevent any potential accidents. But the sales manager, driven by the desire to inflate profit margins and save the dealership money, made a calculated decision. He deliberately ignored the technician's warning, dismissing the safety concerns as insignificant and prioritizing financial gain over customer well-being. The unsafe SUV with its known brake issues was sold anyway, knowingly putting Tiffany and other drivers at risk. It was a blatant act of negligence, prioritizing profit over the safety and lives of their customers. After a massive public outcry erupted, fueled by social media and angry customers, the dealership was forced to address the situation. The dealership's manager issued a formal apology, attempting to mitigate the damage to their reputation. He publicly admitted that the car should never have been sold in its dangerous condition, acknowledging the severity of their mistake. But this wasn't a simple oversight or an innocent mistake. It was far more calculated than that. It was a conscious, dangerous choice, a reckless disregard for safety driven by greed. The honest technician, bound by professional ethics, tried to do the right thing by reporting the issue. But his recommendation was ultimately rejected and his concerns were overruled by someone higher up the chain. Tiffany's trust, and the trust of countless other customers, was irrevocably betrayed by the dealership's actions. This case serves as a stark reminder of how easily safety standards can be sacrificed on the altar of sales and profit margins, with potentially devastating consequences. When buying a car, especially a used one, you can't always trust the dealership to protect you, highlighting the importance of due diligence and independent inspections. Tiffany's dashcam footage went viral, sparking outrage and support across social media. Millions watched her panic, horrified that a dealership could ignore such a serious defect. Commenters urged legal action and shared their own stories of dealership negligence. Industry insiders confirmed this wasn't an isolated incident. Profit often trumps safety. The viral video forced the dealership to respond publicly. Social media became a tool for accountability, amplifying Tiffany's voice. The story highlighted a systemic problem: sales can override safety checks. One mother's ordeal became a warning for all car buyers. The public demanded better protections and transparency. Tiffany's experience showed the power of speaking out. Tiffany's ordeal is a wake-up call for every car buyer. Know your rights. Lemon laws exist to protect you from unsafe vehicles, but rules vary by state. Always document repairs, conversations, and expenses. If your car is unsafe, contact the dealership and manufacturer immediately. Escalate complaints to consumer organizations if you're ignored. For serious issues, consult a lawyer specializing in lemon laws. Report dangerous dealers to your state's DMV. Before buying, insist on an independent inspection and proof of repairs. Don't be afraid to walk away if something feels off. Your family's safety is worth every precaution.